Hello there! What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be doing an X-Wing build, and I want to throw a big congratulations out to Oliver Pocknell for being the new 2019 X-Wing World Championship, who happened to run Imperials, so I figured I'd do an Imperial list today, and I've been toying around with a little bit of a new Imperial build. I usually run Republic, but now I figured I'd do an Imperial list. And also want to remind you guys about the new giveaway. All you have to do is leave a comment and be a subscriber. I'm giving away a $100 Amazon gift card. I'm going to announce the winner for that the first week of November, so be sure and check that out. But yeah, so one of the things I wanted to use Darth Vader in this build, and I think he kind of illustrates a great way. If you were thinking of getting some new tokens, I definitely want to remind you about Luxury Playstyle. They have this new thing on their website now where you can, instead of buying a whole set, you can customize your order. So if you maybe just want to get like black tokens for Darth Vader because he's dark side, and you want like black, full metal tokens, the best quality tokens you're going to find, you can totally do that. You don't have to necessarily get a full bundle where you can customize your order, and you can save 15% if you use the discount code Crabbok VIP. It's great savings. Definitely use it, and it helps support the channel. So big thanks to Luxury Playstyle for sponsoring the channel as well. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into this build because we're going to have some fun here. I am going to start off with the man, Darth Vader, because, I run Anakin in all of my Republic builds, and I figured, what, let's go ahead and run Darth Vader over here as well. And there he is. He is awesome. He's, and I like the advanced targeting computer. Effectively makes him into a 3 if you can manage to get that target lock on there, and at initiative 6 he doesn't have that hard of a time getting a target lock on there. I am going to give him fire control systems, so this way he gets a reroll once he's got the target lock, and that kind of makes the TIE Advanced X1 feel a little bit like how I used to run them in X-Wing 1.0. But one of the things, when I'm going to use one of the newer upgrades on him, I'm going to use Foresight on him. Now this one isn't necessarily that great with Initiative 6, but we're going to give it a shot. I kind of wanted to try out Foresight and see if I can make it work on Darth Vader. It's definitely risky because you have to be at in the bullseye arc at range 2, and I'm just rather at range 1 to 3 in the bullseye arc, but you're only rolling 2 dice. But you're going to at least be able to turn an eyeball into a hit. So you do get to modify it a little bit, and so that much is nice. And I figure there's I've been running Snapshot a little bit, and I wanted to try to see if I can make this work. Especially since you have a little bit of a different range, but don't necessarily have full arc, so playing around with that a little bit with Darth Vader. So I did mention Snapshot, so I wanted to have a little bit of fun with Snapshot as well. So I wanted to run a pure Crabbok in the TIE Striker. There we go, because he's got a cool ability that works with Snapshot. So Pure Crabbok has, while you perform an attack, if you have 1 or fewer damage cards, you may roll an additional attack die. Now, adding a die is not a modification because it's done before the modified dice step. And I had to do a little research on this just to make sure, because sometimes sometimes I will think I'm right and I'll end up being totally wrong. And that certainly happens. But yes, so Pure Crabbok is, at Initiative 4, he is a little lower. He's still kind of on the higher side, but low enough that he might be able to catch some aces that have to move after him. And with the ailerons, his movement's going to be very all over the place. So I figure that's kind of fun. And we might be able to make Snapshot work with Pure Crabbok. And the idea here is that in addition to just 2 dice, he's actually going to get 3, pending he doesn't have more than 1 damage card. And to kind of help that work, we're going to go ahead and give him a shield upgrade. So this way, is less likely to have damage cards, less likely to lose that ability. And I'll also give him a gunner. And I'm gonna toss the 5th brother on him. That's going to do a couple of things. I mean, yes, it lets you spend a force to change an eyeball to or a focus result to a crit, but it also is just giving him a force in general, which he can use defensively to help him not lose his ability. So I really like those force crew and gunners just because they give you a force, and that's just it's just so versatile that it's great. So even if you don't use Fifth Brother's ability, if you just use that force for defense and you use your actions maybe for attack, for offense, maybe a focus for offense, or even even to barrel roll, now you have a lot more flexibility to reposition since you've got that force there, and you're going to get that one back each turn. So while I have those two, I figured I would try out a ship that I really want to see reprinted in 2nd edition, if not for hyperspace reasons, but rather just because I think they can improve on the model, and that's going to be the Lambda shuttle. Now, at first I was thinking Colonel Jendon to kind of help people get those locks beyond range 3, but I ended up kind of shying away from that because I'm like, well, I don't think Darth Vader really needs the help. I would like Jendon a little better if I was running different TIE Advanced X1s maybe. So I decided to go with the low initiative Omicron group pilot, the OGP himself. I am going to give him some force as well. I'm going to put Grand Inquisitor on him. The Grand Inquisitor is very expensive, but it's just so good. So good. So after an enemy ship reveals its dial, I can spend my, that close by, I can spend a force to perform a white action and treating it as red. What's great about this particular dude is that means I can now coordinate when somebody else is doing their action, which means, you're going there? Well, now, if I've got Pure Sabacc nearby, I can coordinate to Pure Sabacc, have him barrel roll right into snapshot range. It's a little tricky to really make that work, but it's possible now. So I love that. Or if I know Pure Sabacc has maybe a red maneuver coming up, I can coordinate him to do that. And then granted, or maybe I do coordinate as my normal action. At initiative 1, I can take 2 actions with this guy. So I can move, take my normal action, and then when somebody else goes, now take a second action, treat that one as red. I don't mind getting a stress if I got to do 2 actions as a result of it. So that's really, really cool. So this way I can make sure, or hey, maybe even, Jam you wouldn't be able to do for Grand Inquisitor. Jam would have to be its own thing. And of course, if I did Jam as my own action, then Grand Inquisitor would have a harder time, because you can't do free actions when you've got a stress. And Grand Inquisitor wants you to do a white action on top of all other things. The only really way you could do something like that is as its own action, really. All right, so we got Grand Inquisitor there. I also want to put Director Krennic on this thing. Director Krennic is cool for a couple of reasons. For one, he's giving me another white action, so it gives me a little more capability. And of course, Krennic is going to give me here. Wow, my goodness, where did he go? Come back here. I really should have used maybe yet another Squad Builder 2.0 or something like that. So Director Krennic is going to give me a white target lock. So it's yet another white action I can do. And that's going to kind of work with this. But another thing that's kind of cool about Krennic being on here is that if I assign that optimized prototype to Pure Sabacc, now Snapshot, hey, I only rolled a focus result. Well, now it gives me other things I can do with results that are suboptimal in this case. So now I can potentially still drain shields while the snapshot attack is going off, if everything works out. There's a lot of interaction between these different ships, and of course, depending on the build, I might want to assign the optimized prototype to Darth Vader. If I maybe want to fly Sabacc somewhere else, depending on who I want to keep together, there's a lot of different interactions in this particular build that could, work really, really well or go very, very poorly, depending on how we go. This is exactly 200 points, though, so I will put a link to this build in the description below. You guys can check it out. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to try and run this in some battle reports here pretty soon to see how well it does. I feel like this is a list that could do well, but it's really going to depend on how good you get. There's no instant win with this build, but if you can keep stuff close enough together to make sure all the synergies are going to work and put things in the right position between Foresight and Snapshot, you could end up getting a lot of extra attacks and could do a lot of damage with this build. But it really just depends on kind of layering a spider web and having them kind of fall into your trap. And while the OGP doesn't have any kind of snapshot, kind of has the Inquisitor kind of being able to kind of, trip other things and let other people do stuff. So I think that is kind of cool. but we'll see. You know, there's a lot of just interactions that could work. I think it'd be kind of fun, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I also want to thank my patrons on Patreon. You guys are amazing and definitely help make this channel possible. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys soon. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.